No.
So he just does
No, I was up at my place in Maine. And that day, we probably text 4 or 5 times that day. He never even told me that he was going to announce
He was just saying Happy 4th of July.
we had already had, my team already went and walked the White House. We did all the logistics, and we're putting together sort of the layout for it right now, and probably going to pitch it to him in the next week or two. But
that's the thing. It's like, you want to fight at the White House?
I don't know. We'll see.
Is it possible that McGregor and Jones would fight on the same card?
Could be.
Dana White has just revealed the UFC is preparing a massive fight card at the White House. This is not a rumor or a publicity stunt. It's happening. A historic moment for the sport and its biggest name. After all the rumors, Dana White has finally explained how the UFC White House event started. In a recent interview, he shared how it began with a few texts, a team visit to the White House, and Ivanka Trump getting involved. Dana also revealed that they're now working on the full setup and will pitch the final plan to Donald Trump in the coming weeks.
So he just does
I was up at my place in Maine. And that day, we probably text 4 or 5 times that day. He never even told me that he was going to announce
He was just saying Happy 4th of July.
We had already had, my team already went and walked the White House. We did all the logistics, and we're putting together sort of the layout for it right now, and probably going to pitch it to him in the next week or two. But the day that he said he wanted to do it, he put Ivanka in charge. So I worked with Ivanka and my team and got to where we are now, and now we got to go pitch the whole thing to him. Me, Craig Borsari, my head of production, and Ivanka will all go pitch it to him.
Building on the early planning phase, Dana White also spoke about the major challenges they're now facing. He explained that due to strict Secret Service rules, only a limited number of people will be allowed to attend, all requiring background checks. But despite the obstacles, Dana believes the setting, with the White House on one side and the Washington Monument on the other, will make it a truly unforgettable event.
This spring.
Tons of challenges. First of all, I don't even know how many people can get in, not to mention the fact that Secret Service isn't going to let a lot of people come do this. Everybody's going to have background checks. So yeah, whoever actually gets to be there live, it will be such a unique, amazing experience in their lifetime to be able to go to this fight. And for us, when you think about when the fight is going on, while the fight's happening and we're filming, one whole side of the backdrop will be the White House, and then the other side will be the Washington Monument. So it's just, it's so unique, so badass, and so once ever, like you said.
Meanwhile, after breaking down the logistics and unique setting of the event, Dana turned his attention to the potential fight card. He revealed that UFC stars are already lining up to be part of the White House spectacle. With names like Jon Jones and Conor McGregor being floated, Dana teased dream matchups and even hinted that both could fight on the same historic card.
No matter who popped up or who didn't or whatever, we would have put on an incredible card. But the fact that literally everybody wants to fight on this card, makes it a lot more fun.
What would be the dream main event?
I have no idea.
No?
I mean, the dream main event right now would be Aspinall versus Jones.
At the White House.
On any main event. And you know, in the sport, you never know who could be a massive star next July 4th. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The landscape will change a lot in a year. So we'll see what happens as we get closer.
On the other hand, Ariel Helwani didn't hold back when discussing the business side of the White House UFC event. He debated the real cost of staging mega fights like Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall at a symbolic venue with limited seats. While the event could be historic, it might also mean losing millions at the gate. And when Conor's name came up, the conversation shifted quickly.
Here's the thing that you have to balance. Tom Aspinall versus Jon Jones would generate a ton of money at the gate. Are you willing to lose that to put this on?
Your common sense bullshit ruining our White House party.
I'm just saying, even the Conor one. Conor is if it comes to fruition, is a 25 million.
This isn't about money. It's about freedom.
So is the fight? No, seriously, we're all talking about this. Is the fight maybe like a showcase?
There's going to be a vetting process in which the president is involved in signing off on the people who come.
Bo Nickel.
Yeah, you get Bo Nickel, you get Strickland. You get Colby.
Strickland feels like a
From politics to personality, the conversation turned toward who could realistically cut. But the other members of the podcast pointed out that fighters with baggage, like Jon Jones or even Conor McGregor, might face pushback. When Trump claimed that 25,000 fans could attend the event, they quickly dismissed it, saying the White House lawn simply isn't big enough for that.
bridge too far. A little like
Why?
they want the squeaky clean white
Huh?
American boys, don't they? Isn't that what
Squeaky
they want?
clean?
Who's squeaky
Yeah.
clean?
Who's squeaky clean? It's gonna
Yeah,
be
You're
both-
throwing out
it's gonna
John
be
Jones out there.
Who, me?
I didn't throw out John Jones. I
Rick's
said
throwing
John
out
Jones
John
is
Jones.
too much.
But
yeah.
why would
I
they
want
want
Jon
squeaky
Jones.
clean? Why is that like a requirement? I don't feel like it is at
I
all.
don't think they want anyone that's going to bring any baggage.
What's the
Well,
best?
how can you have Connor on the card then?
Oh, yeah.
Trump did say this. He said that up to 25,000 people will be able to show up for the spectacle. There is no chance. I saw the
Okay,
White House
well,
like a month and a half ago. It
Tender
is tiny. It is the lawn is like a half acre.
Furthermore, with the White House fight card getting more attention, some fighters are facing criticism. Paul Felder spoke honestly about who deserves to be there and who doesn't, focusing especially on Colby Covington. He questioned if Colby's recent performance is good enough and even doubted how much support he has from Donald Trump and his team, making things more complicated for the fighter.
You got to be winning fights and looking good, I think, to be fighting at the White House. And, you know, he might be handcuffed to a toilet or something at the rate he's been going lately because he's been looking like shite. So, no, I don't think he does deserve to be there. And I think Trump doesn't like him as much as he wants him to be, or at least as much as his character wants him to be like. I don't even know if the real Colby is a Republican. I think Chaos is a Republican, but I think Colby Covington's a bleeding blue Democrat.
Continuing his blunt assessment, Felder didn't hold back when breaking down Colby Covington's recent training footage. He questioned Colby's ability to compete with the top fighters expected at the White House event, pointing out serious concerns about his conditioning and technique. Felder even compared him to other fighters, suggesting Covington isn't ready to face the current UFC elite.
Thank you.
I just did a whole breakdown of his 60-guy spar that he did, and he ain't beating anybody at the White House. I can tell you that much right now.
He's so juiced up.
He ain't passing a drug test, first of all, and then you know, he's leaving that chin a little too high to be beating any of our current boys right now. And that any of
Put him up against a little dude, and he'd probably not make it through.
Oh, that's what I mean. I was
Put him up
watching
against
him.
Pantoja. See what happens.
Pantoja versus Tate?
Yeah.
I like his chances of him choking him out, taking the back and choking him out.
Moving on, Chael Sonnen looked at the White House UFC event from a practical angle, pointing out just how different and difficult this setup would be compared to past shows. He reminded fans that while the UFC has pulled off special events before, hosting one on the White House lawn is a much bigger task, something closer to building a full-scale arena than just placing a cage in a field.
That is a very different ask. To pull off an event like that. Bellator did one, it was at the Playboy Mansion. The UFC did one, it was for the troops. They went somewhere and they got the tent and they set the octagon up and pulled this off. If you were to hold it at the White House, I mean, you're talking about building something along the lines of an amphitheater, not just setting up a cage and doing something small or invite only or a black tie event. Friends of the White House. No, it's not like that. 20 to 25,000 people. It's a very incredible concept, and this is...
After explaining the massive scale of what staging a White House fight would involve, Chael shifted gears to what truly matters on fight night, the result. He revealed a behind-the-scenes conversation with Daniel Cormier, who made it clear if you're going to risk everything in front of the world on American soil, there's only one way to do it, with an American walking away victorious.
one-off, and it's a special thing. You gotta have an American go over. This was Daniel's take on it. And this pained him. This pained him to say. And he says, Chael, if we gotta have an American go over, like in a sport as difficult and as competitive as this one, there's only one guy you can put in to assure that the Americans win. You gotta make a phone call to Albuquerque. That's how Daniel worded it.
Furthermore, Chael said that Daniel didn't need to say John Jones by name. The mention of Albuquerque said it all. In a fight that carries this much symbolic weight, DC acknowledged reluctantly that John is the one fighter who guarantees a win. Because if someone like Tom Aspinall walks out of the White House with the belt, the headlines won't just be about sports. It'll be about the flag behind the winner.
He didn't want to say John Jones. He didn't want to like put this compliment and this praise on him, but I knew what he meant when he said Albuquerque. And I had to sit back. Wow, he's right. He's right. What if you bring in the heavyweight championship? It's Tom versus somebody else and Tom wins. Or that's a big win for England. There's something about it being on the White House grounds where the American must go over.
Adding on, the fighters themselves are buzzing about the potential White House card, imagining the kind of historic event it could become. Renato Moicano, Gilbert Burns, and Matty Betts weighed in, highlighting how the card needs to honor the occasion with some truly legendary matchups, especially with July 4th and America's 250th birthday in mind.
You have to think about probably if they really do the White House card, is going to be the greatest card of all times. I think.
And dude, there's no. So I saw a tweet the other day. Is there seriously no American champs right now?
Yeah.
No. John Jones was the only one. It's like if you actually make this happen at the White House, you gotta at least have one American champ, right?
And you have to put Americans to win, because that's going to be on like 4th July.
Yeah.
250 years after the American Revolution, after the Declaration of Independence. Imagine if they put like American against a foreigner, like a...
With patriotism and symbolism at stake, the fighters dug deeper into who exactly should represent America on this historic stage. The conversation shifted to which stars could carry the weight of expectation and bring pride to the home crowd on Independence Day.
And the American lose on the White House.
So don't put Merab on that card. That's what you're saying.
Don't put Merab, especially against some American guy.
So what Americans would you put on there, bro? Would you go Sean Strickland?
100% Sean Strickland is fighting on that card, but depending on who he's fighting against.
Yeah, gotta be an easy matchup.
Easy matchup needs to be an easy matchup for the Americans.
Like who?
So Kayla Harrison.
Kayla Harrison for
100%.
Sure. The only American champion right
dude, how did I forget Kayla Harrison? Yeah, so we got Kayla Harrison, Sean Strickland, John Jones. Those three have to be on the
and Chandler.
And
like Colby Covington, Justin Gage, you know, these guys like Patriots.
Gilbert versus Colby, bro.
I like that.
Who?
Oh, Gilbert versus Colby. Yo, let's...
Finally, the trio circled back to the challenge of putting together a card that balances patriotism with star power. They acknowledged the difficulty of locking in big names, but imagined some dream matchups that could headline this unforgettable event.
I did not want to live in America for a long time.
Yeah.
Brazil is cool. The problem is just the government.
Yeah. Fuck. All right, so we got Kayla Harrison, Colby, John Jones, Sean Strickland.
Topuria.
No, I'm talking about USA, Americans only.
But then they're gonna.
But they're gonna need like Poitin. They're gonna need superstars.
Yeah.
They're not fucking bringing Islam Makachev is not fucking coming.
Yeah.
No way they're gonna put
you might as well just do Poitin versus Tom Aspinall at the White House. You need big name.
Man, that's fucking awesome if they do that.
That'd be sick, bro.
But then it's going to be two foreign guys, right? Brazilian and English.
It happens.
And an Englishman, brother. The British are coming. Paul Revere.
Yeah.
Paul Revere, bro. Do you think they're gonna do the Paul Revere? No. The British are coming.
Furthermore, the UFC White House event began as a bold idea from President Trump to celebrate America's 250th birthday with a fight on the White House lawn. Analysts Luke Thomas and Brian Campbell explained how historic this plan is, while also highlighting the huge challenges involved, from past presidents' use of the South Lawn to the complex logistics. Making this event happen won't be easy.
President Donald J. Trump told a crowd of supporters in Iowa that 1 year from now, the 250th anniversary of this great country, what's better to break it in than to put a damn octagon on the lawn of the White House? It's not every day our country turns 250 years old. Like, this is a kind of a major milestone moment. We're bringing that in with the damn octagon?
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
like-
the UFC and Trump administration both had said that the plans are serious, but they did put a little wiggle room in there that it may not happen.
you can't put 25,000 people inside the fences, right? That's not
You
smart.
could. I actually looked it up last night. Has there ever been a sporting event that was controlled by the White House that took place on the South Lawn? President Clinton put a quarter-mile track. Obama had a...
Shifting focus from logistics to fighters, Luke and Brian shared concerns about the UFC's political risks and revealed how top stars immediately jumped at the chance to fight on this historic card, especially Jon Jones. They wondered if Dana White could leverage this excitement to set up major fights.
Egg hunt, little kids can sign up. Obama had almost like a South by Southwest thing there. It's an 18-acre property. That is a logistical nightmare. I don't really know what's going to happen between now and next July. The UFC going all in on political polarization makes me a little nervous for the long-term viability of the sport. When this kind of got announced, the least law-abiding UFC fighters that we have were all like, me first!
The one me first that got everybody fired up was recently retired former 2-division champion Jon Jones. It's absolute bullshit for him to give up the heavyweight title, create a 2-year soap opera, and then be like, oh, fighting on the White House lawn? Dude, I'm back in. Let's go. Is there a way that Dana could use Jon's interest in this in backdooring him into agreeing to do the Aspinall?
Moving on, Chael Sonnen shared his deep insight into the promotion's inner culture. He explained how, despite tensions, Dana White has always respected the title and the fighters, making sure champions get their moment in the cage no matter what. This sets the stage for what could happen with Jon Jones and the upcoming White House event.
I can just tell you, look, I've been at the UFC for 18 years. And everywhere you go, there's a culture. There's things that you pick up on. That is the way it would work. No matter how irritated Dana was, Dana would respect the UFC's belt. And he would find a way to get that guy to the cage. If he promised you, he was going to get that guy to the cage.
Turning to Jon Jones's uncertain future, Sonnen expressed genuine curiosity about how Dana White might handle the situation. He compared it to past moments of leverage and negotiation in the sport, reminding us that the UFC's business moves often fly under mainstream radar.
That's true. And I bring that to you because we're left to guess. What does this mean about Jon? Now, I would like you to know, I'm not being my usual dick of a self towards Jon. I am genuinely curious how this will go. And there was a leverage by Tito. Now, UFC could have ignored it. They could have ignored it and gone right on with business. It's not as though we were being covered by Sports Center. It's not as though
Meanwhile, as speculation heats up around the White House event, Pitezi Carroll and Chuck Mindenhall dive into the dream scenario of UFC's biggest names sharing the same historic card. They debate whether fighters like Conor McGregor and Jon Jones could face off on the White House lawn and what that would mean for the sport.
I didn't get to ask you about this White House thing. This is exciting, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, this is really exciting. And now we're going to go right back into these hypotheticals. We just finally got...
You don't think Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones are going to fight on the lawn of the White House?
That would be a really sad 250th celebration, wouldn't it?
Red coat against US?
The conversation quickly turns to the anticipated matchup between Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones, with the hosts reflecting on the drama and disappointment surrounding their rivalry. Despite the ups and downs, the idea of these fighters clashing again, especially on such a monumental stage.
Bess, come on,
Yeah.
this is perfect.
If you want to see Redcoat, like walk out there with a belt, you know?
It's amazing that we're somehow back to talking about Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones again. After it felt like a countdown to just let us down.
It feels better to be the hunter again, you know, rather than the hunted.
I believe we had some tweets as well.
Yeah.
We have these amazing lines from Jon Jones. Feels nice to be
no.
the hunter and not the hunted for once. Just re-entered the testing pool. That lasted for about 2 weeks. Figured we keep everyone's options open. Fighting at the White House.
Amid all the buzz about who might headline the White House card, Conor McGregor didn't hold back during a recent appearance. While he's not officially booked yet, the former double champ hinted at something massive. With the UFC planning a heavyweight loaded tournament, Conor dropped a bold tease, suggesting his next stop might just be the Oval Office itself, not just the Octagon.
Conor, I have to ask though, $25 million tournament, how interested are you in competing in that?
Look, it's a 185 pound to 265 pound tournament. I do like the dough. I'm in this zone until I can clear my slate. It's looking like I'm headed to the Oval Office again. So that's where I'm heading next. But I let these men fight for this one, and I'll support them and back them all the way. But to have equity stake in a promotion at ground level, we are at ground zero here, and you can all feel the excitement and the tension in this building. This is a multi-billion-dollar fight promotion, and we are giving it back to the men.
Furthermore, former UFC fighter Brendan Schaub couldn't hide his excitement when asked about the idea of the UFC hosting a fight at the White House. He urged fans to set politics aside and simply appreciate how far the sport has come from the underground days to now, possibly being showcased on the lawn of the most powerful building in America.
Everyone wants to fight on that card. At the White House? That's insane. Now, if you make it political, like, oh God, the UFC's so tied in with Trump, just take all that out of it, whoever you voted for. This is how far the UFC's come. The UFC is fighting at the White House. That's insane. That should be celebrated. But if you did Tom, John, that's your headliner. That's selling fucking hell yeah cakes, right? You got Tom, John, Kayla Harrison, Amanda Nunes.
Brendan then went on to dreamcast his perfect American stacked fight card. From heavy hitters to legends, he listed names that could bring fireworks to the White House stage.
Kayla Harrison, Amanda Nunes. So you got American, you got Big American, you got Bo Nickel, you got Colby Covington, you got Justin Gaethje. Yeah, Strickland all day. You have Strickland Izzy on there. I mean, I've been retired for a hot second. I would get my shit together to fight at the White House.
Dude, that'd be dope.
Yeah, just don't test me. Just, hey Mick, you know I love you. Just let's forget about USADA, but your boy would fight it.
The UFC White House event is shaping up to be one of the most unprecedented moments in sports history. Dana White's revelations confirm that this isn't just talk, it's a full-scale, carefully planned spectacle with massive logistical challenges and star-studded ambition. From political hurdles to fighter lineups featuring the biggest names like Jon Jones and Conor McGregor, the event promises to blend patriotism, drama, and pure fight excitement on a historic stage. While some question the practicality and politics involved, the UFC is pushing boundaries to create a unique experience that could redefine how we celebrate America's milestone. Fans worldwide are watching closely as this bold vision comes to life, ready to witness history in the making. Which fight do you most want to see at the White House event? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.